You're listening to Who's Hot, the UKOCR podcast where Wil Chung, along with elite racers Becky, Neal, Chris Shipley and the occasional special guest, discuss the UKOCR series and other important races in the OCR calendar to find out who's hot.
Welcome to the Swift Half. No, not the Swift Half. Welcome to Pint Size. No. That's another blooper because you all know that Will makes bloopers. Sorry, guys and girls. I'm just jumping on just for 2 seconds because we had some breaking news and we need to let you know ASAP. ASAP. There is going to be a UK OCR series race in September. Yes, September the 1st. Get it in your diaries. Where's it going to be at? Do I hear you say? Well, I'll tell you. It's down at Body Hub. So if you'll remember, when they had the awards earlier this year, I went to the beach, check out the course. Daryl down there, the owner of it, has been absolutely making some amazing changes. You're going to see them all on social media and things like that. But there is going to be a UK OCR series race on the 1st of September. It's going to be 6K. So this is going to be the shortest race we've ever had in the UK OCR series. But it's going to be one that's going to be tough. Don't underestimate it. And also, further breaking news, we have had it confirmed, and I say have it confirmed, me and James have agreed this, that we are going to have prize money. So the prize money is going to be overall prize money only, nothing for masters, just straight up overall. The winner, yes, that's the winner of the UK OCR series is going to get a whopping £500. Yes, £500 for the men, £500 for the women. There's also going to be cash prizes for second and third. So watch this space. Yes, it's getting exciting. It's getting super exciting. Can't wait for it. Anyway, let's get back to Who's Hot and the Euros preview.
Hello, and thank you for downloading the latest UK OCR podcast. This is Who's Hot, and we are here to preview the Euro Championships, which is going on from the 12th to the 16th of June over in Fondo Grande, Italy. And with me, as always, we have our elite races, Chris Shipley. Hi, Chris. How are you doing?
Hello, everybody. How's it going? It's time. It's the big one.
It is the big one. And we also have team captain, Becky Neal. Becky.
Hello. Oh, what an honour.
And we have special guest. We have Jamie Gane, our vice team captain. Jamie, welcome to Who's Hot.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
Well, it's great to have you here because I've got all three of you are experts. So I'm just going to kind of hand it over to you in the next couple of minutes. We're here, as I've just mentioned, to preview the OCR Euro Championships over in Italy later on next week, the 12th to the 16th. We have 3 races. We have the 100 meter, the 3K and the 12K. We also have 100 meter relay and also the team brace. Becky, as team captain, let's go straight to you first. How's all the training and the team get-togethers been going up to this point?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably people listening who are eagerly anticipating taking part in this race, but maybe also some people who aren't competing and are happy to hear about it, which is, thanks for your support from the rest of the Team UK. But the people who are competing this has probably been taken over their brains for some time now. We've been qualifying since last year. We've put on our applications in January for which races we wanted to do, and then we have all this process with our selection policy about who can qualify for what. And so there's been some wildcard entries which have been kind of approved or not, all meeting like the criteria that we set out. So there's been lots of little steps in order to get to the place where people are ready to go. Never mind the training. And then, of course, there's registration. We've got all these medical certificates that everyone has to do. There's quite a few hoops to jump through in terms of the organization of it all. We've got some new Team UK kit coming out, which you might have seen a picture of. But you haven't seen in the flesh just yet, but you'll see this maybe by the time we finish talking today. You will have seen it on a person. And so we're really excited about that. It's really professional, sleek, and we're really excited to be representing Great Britain at the European Championships. So people are really keen for that. But also recently, some of the teams have been training together. like teammates from different like clubs or teams, but also people training together for competitive team races, as well as the national team races, trying to get across to different races here, there, and everywhere, or different training sessions put on by like some of the coaches that we've got in the UK as well. So it's all been going on. Like there's quite a lot of buzz, and of course there's many WhatsApp messages as well. We did actually have like a Team UK call recently. So me and Jamie and Dawn's the team manager. Me and Jamie are captain and vice captain, and we put on like a little call for people to maybe if it's their first time going or just to go through how it all works. We went through like the schedule and the obstacle rule book because that's been out for like I don't know, a couple of months now. So we've known what's coming up. Some of the helpful coaches around the UK have been creating the obstacles, and we've had a chance to get there for some obstacle specific Euros training, which has been super helpful. And, we haven't had to travel to Italy to do that, for example. So everyone's feeling quite prepared now, I think. Obviously, there's always a last minute bit of panic. I think that's natural. So if you're feeling that, then don't worry. You're just excited. It's all just a matter of time, and then we'll be there. And then we'll be in Italy, like the face of the Dolomites, looking up at the mountains and all the obstacles. Excited to talk about it with you all. Can you tell?
I can tell how excited you are, Becky. Just your voice is going higher and higher and pitching higher. Jamie, tell me, how excited is you as our new team vice captain?
Oh, I'm so excited. Honestly, I think it's so strange. Since last Euros, I've been thinking about this Euros, and the amount of preparation that the whole team and individuals have been doing. It's been so nice to see everyone progress over the year, get the qualification races in, and now aim for this. I've been part of the European team. In terms of the guys who've been organising the race as the para race director. So, of course, I've had sort of little insights throughout the year that I've had to keep secret. So it's been really, really hard because so many people have said to me, what's happening with this? What's happening with this? And I can't tell them. Whereas now all of the secrets have come out, which is great. I can openly talk with people about things. And I'm just really excited to see all of the work that everybody's put in and all the anticipation, all of the excitement and training, everything is going to come to fruition. And not only that, I think I'm just more excited to see everybody, just see everybody together. That opening ceremony, I think it's going to be fantastic. The team spirit with us all in our new kits, see everyone in the flesh is going to be absolutely amazing. I'm really excited.
Hey, Chris, I know this is one of your target races. Tell me about your excitement and your preparation.
Wow, this is the Grande race. That's Italian, that is. A big one. Googled it. That's it. We're all getting ready for this. We're flying over there on OCR airwaves, and we're going to have a complete blast, I think. And like Will said, this has been my A race. Like, this is the one I've been dreaming about, but constantly. It's the only thing that I've been thinking about. I've thought about nothing else but Euros the whole year, and it's come around like another wet fish in the face. It's just hit us really quickly. And it's just mad that it's come around so quick. But we've all put in the training. The way that the coaches have done like specific training for this one, and the information that we've had is different to any other Euros that we've had before, and it shows because the whole of Team UK are looking prepped and ready for this. They're gonna go out there and Dolomite the whole competition.
Amazing. Becky, I can see you've got a bit of a schedule. Let's talk about the whole week, because it starts from Wednesday the 12th through to Sunday the 16th. It's a long week, isn't it? But let's go through it. Let's get people excited about what's going to go on this week.
Yeah. So on the Wednesday, there's basically the 100-meter practice. So it's not actually an official race. Most people are still arriving at that time. The racing and the opening ceremony, everything starts on the Thursday. So Wednesday is practice only for 100-meter registered athletes. Then Thursday, you can start doing those qualification runs for the 100 meters. So they've actually got like time slots now that we've selected for our like internal portal things for our registrations. And also everyone's going to be going to the kind of nations ceremony on the Thursday evening. So that's really exciting. We've been looking at the elite women's start list, which I've had some inside information on. And there's, about 15 different countries competing in the 12K there. So if that's the smallest kind of event, elite women's, compared to like some of the others, then we're have upwards of that many countries from all across Europe parading in that ceremony. And of course, like now all of the, we saw in Worlds last year and Euros last year, that all of these kind of ceremonies are getting more and more exciting, more professional. We've got all these procedures and kind of routines that we follow, and it feels really prestigious. It feels like you are representing your country at an international event. So I'm really excited for everyone to experience that. We'll come together as a team and represent. So we've got special outfits for that as well. And then on the Friday, there's a couple more, qualification runs for the 100 meters, but that's when the short course race starts. So the 3K, we're going to have age group racing and then elite racing after that. Then there's also the kids race, and then there'll be the awards on that night for the 3K. Saturday's reserved for mostly the long course, so it's about 12K. But also the kind of top 16 athletes for the different categories for the 100 meters will be going head to head for sort of the knockout rounds. We think so top 16, and they'll actually have the finals on that day, so breaking it down into semi-finals and finals and everything before the awards that night for those races, hopefully. They say that they're going to have some parties every night. We've seen the pasta parties that they've thrown before at Euros. I think this will probably be the best one yet. And then on Sunday is the team races. So there's competitive team races. I think it's about 7 or 8K, 3 people running together, like at the same time, but also doing some obstacles together, some team-based obstacles. So there's national teams. So we've got a men's team, a women's team, a mixed team, and a para team for the national team races. Then some club teams for the competitive races. And then there's also a new event, the 100-meter relay. So we've selected some athletes to represent the UK in the 100-meter relay. There's also some optional kind of competitive 100-meter relays that people can enter as well. But really excited to see that come together. We haven't really seen that in Europe yet. But we've got 4 athletes, 2 men, 2 women representing us. And I think we have a great chance of doing well in that event, to be honest. And yeah. Open race, open run, and then the closing ceremony in the evening after the awards. So full on.
Yeah, and then there's going to be a bigger party after that.
Are you organising the social, Chris?
My colleagues in crime are organising the socials, the accountability party.
Excellent. We
FYI.
did. Yeah, we were looking for somebody to host that. Thanks, Darren and Mo.
Mainly Darren, because Darren's the organised one.
We could tell.
We know that you're the science guy, aren't you? So
exactly, I'm science.
Let's go to the 100 meters and let's shout out some names, some athletes. Jamie, why don't we start with you? Let's start with what should we start with? Should we go elite?
Yeah, sure. Let's go for it. Where have we got to? Where's our lovely spreadsheet?
Just helping you. Yeah. This should help. No, didn't help. Well, we did have Imi, of course, but unfortunately she's injured, which is going to affect a lot of our racing.
Yeah, it sounds like she's made a good decision in terms of illness. In terms of elite, I mean, we've got a talented bunch, haven't we?
With the 100 meters.
Becky, are you able to zoom in for me, please?
I'll talk through the women's. Mila. This is what everyone's waiting for. Everyone's been waiting
comeback.
for Mila.
It's the comeback.
Absolutely. I mean, amazing performance at the 100-meter trials back in Gloucester. Incredible performance. I mean, flying through those obstacles, she's going to be one to watch for sure.
Yes,
absolutely. Really excited.
The 100-meter trials. So she's currently kind of ranked number 1, although Beth has sort of the official record for the UK, I believe, because of course Mila hurt her shoulder. But we're really excited to see what she can do this time round. So as well as that, we've got Beth Lodge.
Beth's looking super strong.
She is. She's looking really, really strong. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see her perform.
Beth, I
think everybody's
is flawless.
Sorry, Becky, go for it.
In Ninja, Beth, she never makes a wrong move. She doesn't necessarily look like she's going really fast, but she is flawless, and that is fast, smooth as fast.
Yeah. And I tell you what, she is one of the first people on the sidelines to be cheering everybody on. As soon as she's finished it, she's there for everybody. It's fantastic. She's definitely one to watch.
And then I am also racing.
Well, you've had quite a successful 100 meters year this year as well, Becky. Not too bad, not too shabby.
Thanks very much. Yeah, sometimes it just happens. I don't have the strength and power like some of the girls do, but I like to try and get it smooth like Beth. And we also have Lindsay Young from Scotland, who has been on the ninja scene for a long time. I'm really excited to see her race too.
Yes. Yeah, I think she's also been focusing on other races or other distances this year. I think. So I think she's got a couple of races in for Euros. It'd be really great to see her on the 100 meter as well.
And then
She's looking really strong.
we've also got Shyla Duhaney, who again should beat me over the 100 meters at both Gloucester and in Spain. So we're going to expect a fast time from Shy as well.
Yeah, she's got super grip. She's one of the probably one of the best obstaclers in the UK at the moment. She's really on there. She's definitely got that OCR virus.
Yeah, and just think about how much progress she's made in the last year compared to this time.
It's incredible.
Whereas last year, I think it was actually her second ever race, and now she's at the top of the elite women's field in the UK and competing, internationally at this level. I'm really excited for her.
Must be because she's Rumble.
Of course.
We're all red, white, and blue this week.
That's it. Yeah, we are.
Good.
With a dash of purple.
So those are the elite women. We've also got the elite men. I'll just note some names. You guys can talk through. We got Deshaun Smith. Deshaun represented us at Worlds in Belgium, as well as going to other races before that, and he has power.
Absolutely. I think another one that you just see absolutely kind of float through almost. So smooth transition wise. Yeah, really strong.
There's been times where he's like almost had the fastest time, and then there's been one like mishap or something, and he's not made that. Like he did win the 100 meters at PT Barn last year, but I think that's the only win so far. Like because he got the likes of Toy Matthews and Hollis and Jack Andrews, and so it's really competitive even from the junior level in the men's field. So Deshaun will be waiting for his moment, I think. But yeah, of course, we've also got Tommy.
Tommy.
Some would say he's probably got a good chance of getting a good outcome if he doesn't fall off anything. Tommy is probably the best one to look out for and the one to really, really want to watch at the 100 meters in the UK. Yeah,
so we're looking for top 16, which is tough. In the elite men's, top 16 is tough, but he'll definitely be gunning for that. Someone who's also probably looking for that is Victor. Victor's been representing us in the last European Championships and Worlds as well.
Yeah, now Victor is a ninja warrior dominator, isn't he? Have you seen his Instagram stuff?
Incredible.
He's all over the
talent.
place, flying this, flying over there. Cool hair too.
Yeah, definitely. I think the ninjas are definitely Instagrammers, aren't they? It's great to see them. I mean, some of the stuff they're able to do is incredible. And the speed, with the technique, it's, but, we all know the 100 meters is a risky game. You've got some guys who will go out there and they'll risk it and it will pay off. And some, it really is down to the day.
Yeah, I think once they get that thing in their head where they just know the course that well, it's just putting it all together and just flying through that whole 100 meters without even thinking, and it's just all instinct and everything just has to come together. Well, we saw it like last year when Tommy, he came off on the 100 meters on the final or whatever it was. It's only because it was just that one slight mistake, and that's all it takes in the 100 meters when you're pushing that fast for that short a time. It just can go in an instant.
Yeah. But I feel like this European 100-meter course, or at least the setup, is a lot more organized than prior years. So I think the athletes are going at a very specific time, knowing that's their time to race without having to wait in loads of queues. So I think it would be really interesting to see how that impacts everybody's performance and going into that feeling a little bit more prepared and ready to go.
Yeah, it should help the mind games a little bit, and then just having that mental capacity to start when you need to start, rather than waiting around and getting a bit out of your flow. Yeah, I think that would definitely make a difference.
Yeah, hopefully the weather keeps that all smooth. Somebody doing it for the first time though, going to their first European Championships, is newcomer bursting onto the scene for Team Rumble, Jonathan Hunter. Johnny.
That man's got some strength. I've seen him on the 3Ks. I've seen him on Instagram. He's got a nice little beard going on, but he comes from a climbing background, I believe, and he is strong. So a bit of a ninja background as well. So you can tell his skills over the obstacles. And yeah, to see him perform in the 100 meters, it's going to be one to see how he is.
Yeah, and living in the Lake District or growing up in the Lake District means he's good at trail running too. So put it all together and you've got an excellent OCR race. So a bit of coaching and some experience, he'll be flying. So this is the start for him. Very exciting.
Nice chap as well. I had a chat with him the other day. Nice guy.
Very nice. So we also have some under 18s representing in the 100 meters. Let's check who's registered.
Oh.
Ollie Addy, Liam Warren, Charlie Wardle, Maria Burton, and Charisma Basseyfield. Excellent.
Nice.
Some great races there. Absolutely. I mean, the juniors are, some of them. Ollie's in his prime, isn't he? You know, he's
Ollie
certainly
is the
one
world
for.
champion.
Yeah.
In his age group at 100 meters.
Yeah. Is he still in the same age group this year? Do you know?
Well, it's separated into youth and junior. I can't remember the actual numbers out of my head. Dawn could tell us. Yes, the older half. No, he's in the younger half, isn't he? Oh,
They're all younger.
We're all younger when you're our age.
That's right.
Okay, so as well as the juniors, we've got some masters athletes. So Nigel Leeming, of course, with years of ninja experience, has won many competitions at the masters level. And I think he's also raced this 100-meter course before. As well as Nigel, we've got Dean Cheetham, who also made really good progress in the rounds at the World Championships last year. And I think he probably has like the masters record. It's actually a very fast time. You've seen him move, right?
Mm.
Henry Cook is racing, I believe. Obviously, he owns a ninja gym, so loads of prowess there. Alex Arndt, she competed at the World Championships and progressed really well in the Masters category. And I think she ended up racing Laura Hayward, who's also racing and has kind of experience in all the longer events as well in ACR. So maybe we'll see another head-to-head, as we do have a really good representation in the 100 meters from the UK. We've also got Chris Harris, I believe. Yes, Chris Harris.
Yeah. Chris has been training hard.
How's he good?
He's completely on it. I can't wait to see him. I think the 100 meters is his baby, really.
Nice.
So I can't wait to see him and how he's progressed.
Cool. And also Harrison is racing as well in the para category.
Yep, he's been training really hard as well. He's I think if you get the two of them next to each other, that is going to be the race to watch. It's going to be fantastic because, you know, with the nature of their different disabilities, you're going to see, you know, overtaking at different types of obstacles. It's going to be a battle, that one.
I like it when there's lots of changeovers, like switches. That makes it really exciting.
Yeah.
You're right. Well, hopefully they don't have to go head to head too early on, and we can final. Yeah, we'll have a couple of UK on the podium. That would be awesome.
That'd be lovely. Well, we've got three UK para athletes, and I think
yes,
I'll be I'm
you're racing 100 meters as well. Good.
Yeah, but I think we've got 3 other nationalities competing in the 100.
Okay.
So we've got a good chance of even a full podium.
Wow, imagine that.
That's what we're hoping. 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
It's just who's going to get those spots. That's a big question.
Wow. Okay. And then I think we've also got Jason Wright, who's also run, the longer distance previous. Oh no, sorry, that's not me. It's me.
I was going to say what he's doing. He's doing 100 meters.
Surprised me. No, it's me. Our names are next to each other on the
I can see him moaning the whole way down 100 meters course. Every single step he takes, just moaning about that.
Sorry, Jason. We look forward to seeing you racing in the 15K. There we go.
No one go with Jason to do anything apart from race, because he will faff around. He will take ages getting ready. He'll take ages going to the car. He'll take ages finding his way. Just watch him.
As long as he doesn't take ages on the course, it's fine.
No, surprisingly enough, he's actually quite quick for
He's making up for it.
He makes up for it in other ways.
So I think we're also going to have the 100-meter relay with a combination of those people, which has been suggested. But we'll wait and see who does race that. But I think there's been some careful consideration as to who you want to go off the blocks fast feet first, then who you want on those kind of matching their hands on the rings through some more of the hanging obstacles, and then who you want powering up the wall. I know who I would select in my team. Who would you select in your 100-meter relay team?
Oh, that's hard.
Without
That's
giving
really
away
hard.
the actual team.
Mm. I mean, I'm biased, so I'd have
Two
all
males,
Barry
two
guys.
females.
2 female, 2 males. Oh.
From generally it would be from the elite category. It doesn't have to be. Well,
Chris,
think about it, listener.
Chris, what would be your pick for those 2 males, 2 females?
For the females, I'd probably go for Mia, Beth, and Becky.
Just 2. I'd be don't
females,
include me. I'm an endurance.
Oh right, hang on. Yeah, I
Dropping.
obviously wasn't listening because I was thinking about other stuff. I would pick. So I've got 2 picks of males and 2 picks of women.
Yes.
Right then, Mia, Shyla, and then I would pick Tommy and what was his name? The guy with the cool hair. I forget how to pronounce it.
Victor.
Victor,
because he's a Victoria.
Oh, nice. Yeah, strong.
That's terrible, Chris. That's terrible.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, but I'm going to stick with it. Hopefully, people won't remember it.
So over the few days, the 100 meters is running qualifications over the few days. Chris, let's talk about spectatability of the 100 meters.
Oh wow! Well, if you're going to spectate any event, it's going to be the 100 meters. You've got a stand to sit at and have your beers, your drinks, your popcorn. You can sit there just watching the whole thing take place. And because it's all in that small 100-meter area, it's wild. I remember seeing the first one back in Poland, and it was electrifying just seeing everyone there and just going battling it out head to head. It's an incredible sort of thing to watch. And at the end of an event or partway through, which I think they're changing it now, but yeah, it's just something to spectate and watch. Spectatability is on point for the 100 meters. It's what brings everyone together at the end of the race.
And Jamie, you were mentioning the different disabilities of the para athletes. So how does that work? Do people are they now? Do forgive my ignorance. Are there different race segments for each disability, or does everyone goes in the one segment, but maybe there's a time difference given for a particular disability compared to another one?
No, it's actually completely different this year. So every single adaptive athlete will go to the start line at exactly the same time, and we will all run out at the same time. So there's no start time difference. There's no course adaptations whatsoever, which is what it's been previously. And actually, we're going to be having podiums for each different disability group. So it's effectively this year, just because of the athletes that we've got those affected mostly with their upper limb. They're in one category. And then we've got those who are lower limb affected in a different category as well. So we've got 2 main categories. And then for the 100 meters, not so much for the Europeans, but we then also have a visual impaired category as well. But we don't have any visually impaired athletes at Euros this year. So we've got two main groups. It's an exciting time because we get 5 wristbands rather than the 3 wristbands that able-bodied athletes get. So we get another opportunity, and then we just have slightly different rule adaptations to other athletes. So, for example, if you are an upper limb impaired athlete, let's say you're missing a hand and you come across a rig with lots of different grip attachments, you have to use the attachments on the hand that you have, and then the hand that you don't have, you can use anywhere on the rig. So you could, for example, kind of use it as like a chicken hook technique over the monkey bars, and then use your other hand on the other bit. Or, for example, the spaghetti obstacle, which is lots of hanging nylon rope. As a lower limb impaired athlete, you can't do a foot lock, and as an upper limb impaired athlete, you can't grab fully. So in order to compensate for that, you're allowed to use the metal bar at the top and sort of just shimmy yourself across. But most of the obstacles are pretty much as prescribed, with just slight adaptations. And I mean, there are athletes with short stature, for example, so they're able to get a step. And for athletes, they're technically allowed to have a guide run with them as well. We haven't had any requested as of yet. Wow. We've seen a few in the British races, but the guide is there mostly for safety. So For example, for myself, I don't have any feeling in either of my legs. So if I'm, let's say, going across Z walls, I could quite easily come off of the wall. And I'm quite experienced, so it doesn't tend to happen. But for a newer racer, the guide can help push them back onto the wall, but they can't hold them and take them across the obstacle. So I think we're still in early stage development, and I'd love to see next year maybe at Euros some wheelchair athletes. But for now, I think we've got about 12 athletes competing at Euros across different categories.
Nice, that's really good.
Yeah, the development is excellent.
We're getting there.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much. That's a great segue into 3K and 12K. Becky, let's just talk about the course, because the route has been out for a while. The obstacles have been out for a while. I'm sure we'll talk about the coffee beans and rigatoni and stuff in a bit. But just give us a quick overview, I guess. Maybe elevation, type of terrain, etc., etc.
Yeah, so the 3K is pretty much 3K. It's 2.1 miles. 100 and something, 150 meters of elevation, I think. But 385 feet, if you're talking that. And so we are actually at like a ski resort. You can watch the flybys on the website if you're really interested.
Really, really good.
It goes from like the bottom of the lift, essentially, a little bit across and up, like a little bit up the steep part of a ski slope that you'd normally ski down, but then a little bit just sideways, and then you end up kind of on top of the hill / mountain, and then you kind of come back down the really steep part in the 3K, like you're running down ski slope like we did in 2022 in Italy for Euros, and then a bit more of a loop with some more obstacles closer to the start finish line. Then the 12K is actually like pretty much 12K, 7.9 miles, 1,324 feet of elevation. So that's 560 meters or something like that. So not as hilly as it was 2 years ago. You basically start similar to the 3K. You go up until you're on top of the ridge. It's about maybe 5 or 6K till you're up on top, and then you kind of run along the top for a bit, and then kind of gradually come down the other side and make your way back round to the start finish. So it's one big loop. There's a couple of undulations, but it's mostly up in one big bit and down in one big bit. But you're like running in the mountains. There's quite a lot of single track. And then, of course, the obstacles. We're not sure exactly which ones are on the short course just yet, but I'm sure that information will be out very, very soon. But probably about 20 of them will be on the short course. And there is, I think, 43 obstacles in the rule book, and then plus a few for the team race.
So I know you and Jamie and the team have gone through the rule book and you've talked about the obstacles, but for the listeners that may have not been part of that call, let's just name or talk through some of the more interesting obstacles or some of the more interesting rules.
Some of the highlights. Well, there's things that spin. We like some spinning obstacles. There's some new obstacles which have actually been built, some new attachments, and they're based on the Italian theme. So there is one obstacle, a suspension obstacle called the Italian Diet. It has 3 new attachments, which you might have seen at Inferno Run or seen them building recently. It includes a rigatoni, which is basically a nunchuck that looks like pasta. Hopefully the rigatoni means it's got better at grip as well as good at holding sauce. Then there's pizza attachment, so a pizza slice with the curved part at the top. You are actually allowed to put your hand over the top of the pizza slice, but you can't do that with the rigatoni. Just remember that, everybody. And there's the coffee bean. A little bit of after dinner coffee. You can put your hand on top of the coffee bean, thankfully, because that would be a really hard attachment if not. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, that looks super cool. I mean, it's nice having a sort of a theme-based obstacle at a nice national race. But yeah, they do look quite difficult, some of them. Well, especially the coffee bean. The coffee bean could be quite tricky. Hopefully we get a little practice on them in the area where they usually do that, because we don't actually have them in this country. So it would be nice to get on them.
Yeah, they look relatively grippy though. So I'm feeling positive.
Yeah, they've got that texture to them. Even how do you pronounce that? Rigatoni.
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 I don't know. I'll spell it.
Yeah, I'll spell it.
She's probably shaking her head right now. Go.
Let's have that when I cut up my. Yeah. which is the name, consequently, of the next obstacle, obstacle
I could
10.
do spaghetti.
Oh
Yeah,
my
so spaghetti
God.
is an obstacle. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, it's basically like paracord suspended, probably in the flowers, so it looks like a flag. The flowers, the colours of the Italian flag, green, white, red. So that'll be kind of suspended, and you have to basically go across it like it's a series of ropes. But it is pretty tricky because they're quite slippery. You guys had a feel?
Yeah, so I know some of the other training centres have put them together as well. Rumble put together one down at their event that they've held on the weekend. Although they've used some different rope for most of the thing, you kind of get the gist of it. I know the PT barn has the paracord, but it seems from what we've devised, it's better to go footlock first. So lead in with your feet, get that good footlock, and then go through your hands. But it is a slippery obstacle, very, very sort of challenging, but it's a good one to have.
Gloves.
Oh, no, I don't think so, Becky. Did you practice a bit with gloves?
Yeah, I preferred it.
The thing is, once you've got that,
on the feet.
yeah,
So
once you've got that
the
footlock though, the footlock's so good on those ropes. But the hands, I get, yeah, no, but the footlock, once that's in,
Yeah, I think I'm just more confident if I can grip without worrying about my fingers hurting.
yeah, fair.
Because there was another similar obstacle to that in 2022, which is actually the obstacle before Italian Diets number 8, Tarzan Swing, which had another form of slippery rope, but with really big gaps between them. So almost the opposite of this, because these are very close together in spaghetti. But Tarzan Swing was the biggest band taker in 2022. People underestimated it because you needed quite a lot of momentum, but this one's kind of different. But those 3 in a row, that's going to be a tough combo. What other highlights do we have? What are you looking forward to, Jamie?
Oh, I like anything really technical personally. I just love it. I mean, the OCR block it looks absolutely horrific. So for those that don't know, it's effectively like a gibbon style swing. So where you've got a wooden post that you try and fit into a metal bracket, and then have to remove the same post to put it back in, and then followed by a pegboard. And I think if you take those 2 separate things as separate obstacles, it's relatively manageable. But I mean, it does look really, really tricky. Did you guys get to have a go at it at all?
Yes.
Oh,
how did you find it?
Trepidation.
I think it depends on the exact setup, right? Like, don't mind gibbons, don't mind pegboards, don't necessarily mind the transition. But it depends on the exact, like, which pegs you got in, because those varnishes at Rumble were really slippery. That's what made it difficult. Like, it was rotating inside the bracket, whereas, you know, I've got some at home, fortunately, and the things that you hold, the rods don't rotate inside the thing, even if the whole thing moves, which these ones don't. These ones are fixed. So it kind of just depends. So you have to just be really ready for the exact kind of setup that it is, which is kind of frustrating because we won't know what that feels like till we're on it. So this one, you know, might catch some people out, but hopefully it'll be more achievable than maybe the ones we've tried.
Yeah, the word on the street is this is the one that most people are actually fearful of. I think when people have practiced it in isolation at the training centres, it's been quite a difficult one for people, especially holding on to it. But I'm sure it'll be easier than we think. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Let's hope so. Do you think most people are going to do it sideways, or as in the pegboard, sideways, or?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because when I went to OCR series on their pegboard, I changed tactics midway through to go sideways. But it depends on the pegs again, like Becky said. If they slot in really easy, it's all right. If they don't slot in, it's quite difficult. So then, depending on the way those pegs are, depends on the tactics that you're going to have to use. You're going to go bent arm, long arm, swing in, swing out. So it really is dependent on how that obstacle's built, rather than anyone's strength, I think.
Yeah, and how far apart they are. I think you're going to go forwards, Becky.
Yeah, I don't think the reach going sideways is as doable, and it's also basically doubling how many times you have to try and get something to fit in a hole, and like that accuracy is sometimes the thing that means you come off. Like if you don't get it in the first time, you end up swinging on your weaker arm, and then that's when you lose it. So I think I just want to minimize the number of times that I have to make something fit. So
That's a good point.
Forwards is good. But that's like sandwiched between Stairway to Heaven and Berserker. Stairway to Heaven, you know, it could be just on top of a whole mountain, like the rope climb was at Worlds.
That'd be a lovely view.
Yeah, stunning. It was.
I love it.
Maybe don't stop to appreciate the view while you're in the top of the obstacle.
Yeah, Berserk, people have been practicing that one as well. There's some low rigs. There's going to be a lot of carries, quite a few big walls as well, and Irish beams. But this high rig warrior with the kind of, there's a V-shaped bit where you have to go down and up on basically some pegs on the side. That transition looks hard because remember this is arms only.
Yeah,
it does look hard, doesn't it? Sorry, Chris, go for it.
Well, I was just going to say how sort of arm pump intense it always seems. I mean, we always look at these obstacles before we get to the obstacle race itself, and we always think, oh, this is going to be a real arm pumper. But it all depends on where they're placed. But this one in particular, I mean, if it's placed in the right, yeah. Sorry, Becky.
Obstacle number 34. So it'd
Yeah.
probably be in like, it could even be in the short course towards the end, but don't know.
And it will pump you. It is a pumper, especially if you've got these pipes afterwards.
Yeah, low rig warrior. It's like nunchucks. They were quite early on in this race previously, but they're obstacle 36 this time. And you've still got to do this another rig after that. You've got the slack line after that. You've got tire flips. You've got the Toros low, high, low rig. So that's an extended version of what we've seen previously before we just went high to low. Now longer. Starting lower, which I think starting lower is tricky. You know, you can't get as much swing.
Yeah, you can't get that.
Those low bits are normally really low, aren't they? Just trying to keep your feet off the ground for that.
Yeah,
it's tricky.
And then the quarter pipe, which had a bit of took over a little bit in 2022 because it was so big. They say there'll be a rope if it's bad weather, but if it's not bad weather, it's still high before you kind of traverse across the containers and towards the finish line. After doing the laser, of course.
Laser.
Later.
Has many people been practicing the laser?
No, no one has one. If
I've got one.
Have you got one?
Yeah, I've got one.
Lou's got one.
I do pentathlon.
You're like an evil genius, aren't you? You've got cats and you've got a laser.
You've been doing your laser on the weekend or so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So there's going to be a laser practice area with the village, so people can try it. And actually, the gun that I've got is quite different from these ones. I think they're going to be maybe, I'm assuming the Eco Aims ones.
Yeah.
Are a little bit easier.
The heavy
to
one.
Yeah,
use.
that's the rapid fire gun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's say 8 meters, and if you've been racing at Spartan, they've actually been putting it at 5 meters. 8 meters is quite different.
Well, that's 26 foot.
But don't worry, if it doesn't go well, it's only 30 seconds. You could probably make that up on the hill.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a frustrating finish. Like, if you get overtaken, then because you've got to stay calm, right, Jamie?
Yep, absolutely. Stay calm, keep you breathing, but you can just pull the trigger happy.
So
Will like RoboCop. Breeze group. Sorry.
So, Chris, you've obviously been targeting this, and whilst Becky just there's a bit of filter here. How's your prep been? How do you think it will go for you specifically? But can you just go over the obstacle band system as well, the penalty system, just to remind people?
Yeah, so we've got the 3-band system. So you basically have 3 bands, which gives you 2 lives essentially. Is that right? So you lose 1 band, you lose another band, but you have to have the 3rd band to stay in the course. But then you do the 2 laps of a penalty. So ideally, you want to get through the whole course with 3 bands because then you don't have to do a single penalty. You fail an obstacle, mainly the suspended obstacles. Then you lose a band, and then losing 1 band means you have to do a 1 lap of the penalty loop. Losing 2 bands means you have to do 2 laps of the penalty loop, which can usually be quite long and challenging.
They haven't actually released what the penalty loop is. But previously it's been carrying a chain or carrying those really heavy last year, the really heavy water, what they called?
Oh, the keg at the World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was the keg at the Worlds, but there was also
and then the jerry cans at the Euros. They were.
And at Euros before in Italy, it was chains around your neck, which ruined all our shirts.
Yeah, and OCR series, you had the bands on your ankles. This one.
They do that in Spain too.
Did you? That's horrible because you just feel like a bit of a fool. Like running as hard as you can. Can't go anywhere. Yeah, chains look decent, but some sort of carry is usually what you tend to find.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be
really frustrating because it's like fourth or lots of turns or it's not a nice course.
We'll have to do penalties. What do you mean?
Yeah, no penalties.
PMA. So we have some people registered elite. We've got many more registered age group, but those are the 3K elite races. Chris, what do you reckon?
I think they're all looking in super sharp shape. So you got Federica Di Caria. She is looking incredible. You got Cheryl Beach. I haven't seen Cheryl training so much, but on the down low, I'm hearing she's looking incredible. You got Morgan Maxwell. He's put on a bit of timber. He's looking all right, but he's doing okay. Becky, Neal, you are looking strong. I saw you on them obstacles on the videos at the weekend. You're just pumping it through it. And you got Dassos Gonelli, formerly the Pumpkin. He is looking, I mean, that man's non-stop this year. He just doesn't stop.
I think he's just gone on holiday, hasn't he?
He's currently doing some heat acclimation / it's a stag do.
I don't even want to know. Like, we're all like, I think Das, like, kudos to him. He's probably the only one in the country at the moment who is pretty much living like a full-time athlete.
Yeah.
We don't know how he does it, right? We don't want to know how he does it. He's just drinking coffee and going on holidays. It must be his girlfriend or something. But yeah, he is looking in good shape. Hopefully he takes a bit of rest before the race, because I really would like to see him actually be in peak form for it. But everyone else is looking super good. Yeah, we've got a really strong elite field this year, and I'm excited to see everyone race.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I missed out. I did it race at Euros last year, but then I chose to try and focus on the longer distance at Worlds, and then I was a bit sad about that. And I think the vast portion of my race was slow because I hadn't been on the obstacles. So I'm going to do it, and I'm just, I'm going to try and do it as well as I can. And I have good history there. So fingers crossed. But look at all these other races we have. We can
list, isn't it?
Go through, yeah. Beth, of course, usually coming from the 100 meters. She's been training her running. She's improved her times over her running, and she's also racing the 3K. So I'm excited for her to kind of, put herself out there with the running and the combination of obstacles. It'll be a good challenge. But Shy is registered age group for 3K, but we know that she's already, podiuming at the elite competition levels, including in this distance in the UK. So that is, she's going to have she's in the 35 to 39 category, which is a tough category to be in. But I back her.
But yeah, well, she's shown her dominance not only in the UK but abroad as well. Her obstacle game is phenomenal, and I think she's got a huge chance of getting a podium, and if not, like top 5. Well, I don't even think she's back to win, to be fair.
Nice. And I mean, Louise Furman is no stranger to podiums. She's been on the podium on the world stage age group. So she's racing in the 3K as well. I think some of these athletes will be doing it, racing hard. And also some people will be doing it to gain experience for the following days, part of the 12K. But we've got Emma McCree. Of course, I love her. She's so excited and talkative all the time. And Carney, another podium potential as well.
Yeah.
50 to 54 category. She's been on the podium as well at international level. We've got Orsola. I think she's also maybe considering going to Worlds, which is really exciting. Rebecca Cohen, who's had lots of trips out to Euros before in the past with the teams. So she's just like growing and growing in her obstacle skills. So again, like it's a tough race to complete. But if you can complete it, then you're gonna do well.
Yeah.
Alex Arndt as well. She's fast over 3K, and with her obstacle skills, when the obstacles make up such a big proportion of the distance in the 3K race, having that kind of ninja background that she does, as well as a good amount of speed, she's going to be strong in the 45 to 49 category.
Yeah, she'll definitely be one to contend with because of the obstacle completion. And if you get obstacle completion in the 3K, it really does set you up good. So it could be good.
And our team manager, Dawn, is also racing in that category as well. And yeah, like she's joined your team. She's like her and Jake, her son, have excelled so much, even in like the last year. I remember talking to them at like Rude Rampage, and since then they've just like really like engulfed all of the information and really taken it all on, and they're looking strong. Got Laura Hayward, also podium at international level on various different occasions.
Yep.
She's got so much experience. I know she's been battling a few injuries over the years, but it never ever stops her because she always puts in the work. She's always there, and she's always sort of dominating her field. I mean, I've been at Wales before, and I've heard the ladies in her category just speaking about her in fear because they just know how good she is.
Yeah.
You want to look through the men?
Oh, yeah.
Love looking at the men.
So we've talked about Johnny Hunter already for the 100 meters, but this is probably his race, the 3K.
Yeah, so he's actually been doing really well in the 3Ks.
Really well.
he didn't.
He's
Yeah.
won the time trial. He's just won the time trial at Rumble, or current leader of the award.
Yeah, had the
did really
fastest
well
time of the day.
at Storm. Whereas his kind of breakout race was at the 3K National Series. And he's just kind of learning all the information, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We have someone very fast, also racing age. Dan Titcombe, our current men's national champion over the long distance, 12K. Won Challenge Cup recently, has won the series. Yeah, I think everyone's in agreement that Dan is the fastest runner. He's racing the 3K age group.
Yeah, Dan is definitely the fastest racer. I mean, he beat Leon, a pure international racer, and Leon even said himself how shocked he was at how fast Dan runs. And we've all seen Dan run. He can put pedal to metal.
And Leon's trying to win this elite 3K.
Yeah, and
If he
Dan's
can
in the
beat
8.
him. Yeah. So that's podium potential. Come on, Dan. We've got Tommy Matthews as well. He's been running more of the last year. 3K is of course like more up his street. It's a competitive age group, 25 to 29 though. So you really have to make up every second you can. But I think Tommy can do that on the obstacles.
Yeah, it's quite funny.
Absolutely.
Go on, Jamie.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, he did incredibly well last year, didn't he? And he would have said himself last year he wasn't as much of a runner. And I know the last year he's really been focusing on his running. So you know, he's got really great potential right there.
Yeah.
So got some of your mates here. We've got Jake Childs, Darren Martin, Russell Walsh.
I know Jake Childs. He's been battling with a terrible injury over the year, so it's just good to have him at Euros. He's a really, really good bloke to have there, just for being there.
Right.
Darren's doing the journeyman for the 3K just to get a bit of obstacle sort of feel for that day because he's focusing on the 15 or 12K. And we've got Matthew Walsh. I'm struggling with the
That's
vision.
Yeah. That's Russell. Yeah, good.
Right.
Your nemesis.
Why is he under? Oh, of course. That's not his real name, is it, Russell? I keep forgetting that. Matthew. Russell Walsh, yeah. What
At the
age is
pumpkin.
what age is Russell? He's quite young, isn't he? 30 to 34.
34.
Yeah, so he's in a very, very challenging category. I do know that like if he can get a good run in with a bit of elevation, Russell's got a good chance of top. But then he did say like when he did the nuclear race that having that many obstacles was a bit out of norm for him. So hopefully I know he's been down Gavin's place doing a bit more work on his obstacle game. And hopefully he can just let his legs do the talking, just run out there, run hard, get ahead of it. But it's good to have him. I love Russell.
Yeah, and there are actually more obstacles at nuclear than there are at Euros. Russell is racing elite for the 12K. So he could show his legs there. Yeah, we got Chris Neal, Ryan Ibbotson, Dean Cheatham, James Pickman, Stuart Canning, Zach Harper, Phil Airy, Liam Moreau, Rob Border, who's also...
Oh, no, Rob Border. Right, now, if we're going to talk about anyone, Rob Border, I would say Rob Border is probably the best 3K athlete we've ever had in the UK. I mean, I know he's also battled a few injuries over the years, but just seeing Robert Border perform on 3K obstacles, he is a force to be reckoned with. Previous podium winner, Mark Dixon used to be scared of Robert. That's how good Robert can be. Yeah. But if it's sunny, he's going to need a lot of sun cream.
On that head. Yeah. I've got Tim Kirk and of course Chris. How are you feeling?
Yeah. So my season was I'm probably in the best physical shape of my life. I've just got one little niggle that's that could be a bit of a pain in the bum. But we stay positive and we're going out there to try and do our best. So I've had some help over the last couple of days, and hopefully everything will go well. But we'll see.
Are there any para athletes registered for the 3K?
Yeah, we've got Harry. Harry's registered for the 3K. That's his distance, really. He didn't get a chance to do the 100-meter trial, so 100 meters will be one of his first times competing at that distance. But the 3K, he's a fast runner. You know, when we had the 3K race earlier on in the year, I mean, he was up there in second place. He just came back from the Spartan Euro Championships with a silver medal in the category. So he is one to really look out for. Podium potential right there. We've also got Dylan. Dylan is focusing on the 3K distance as well. Again, he's a fast guy. He's actually just recently received a new support brace, which will enable him to run even faster. So he's good potential there. And I know he's been working really hard on his obstacle technique. He's always putting up videos on his Instagram of new grips. And I ran a Spartan with him a couple of weeks and helped him with some technique on rigs. And he's certainly getting there. And we've also got, I don't think Chris is doing the 3K. I think he's focusing on the 15 and the 100. So, yeah.
So you're doing all of them so far.
I am.
Harry's doing all of them so far. And Chris is doing 115.
Yes.
And, okay. Awesome.
Is there a specific one you're focusing on, Jamie? I know you're doing all of them, but do you feel you're stronger maybe in the 15K over 3K, for example? I know you're tough mudder honk just like me, so you like the endurance stuff. What are you focusing on?
Well, it's a completely different ball game this year, because last year it was every adaptive athlete against every adaptive athlete. So when you're comparing someone who has an upper limb impairment versus a lower limb impairment, at the shorter distance, the guys with a lower leg impairment have a slight advantage just because of the amount of obstacles. Whereas over the longer distance, really you need to depend on your running. And if you are a slow runner in comparison to other athletes, then the other athletes will have an advantage. So, but given that these are actually more of a level playing field now, where you've got amputees against amputees or amputees against other people with similar impairments, actually it's going to be much closer, I think, on the podium. So my ball game is really the 3K. I don't work very well on technical terrain. If it's too hilly, uphill or downhill, I really, really struggle to run. I love the 3K distance. 100 meters, I think, is probably my least focus, would we say. But it would sort of go 3K, 15K, team race, team para, and then the 100 meters. It's just a bit of fun, really, on the end. I'm just hoping if my grip in my hands can stay by the 100 meters, then I'll be good, really, really happy. Because last year for the 100 meters, I tore my calf on the 100 meter course, literally on the first day of the competition before my 3K race for the Worlds. So if I can get out of my head and actually just focus on the training that I've been doing, then I think I'll be okay.
Nice.
Oh, good luck, Jamie.
Yeah, brilliant. Which takes us to the elite runners for the 12K.
So we have 3 women. Karen McCory, who of course has podiumed basically every race she's been doing in the last 6 to 9 months. Only really to be beaten by Fede. So Fede is racing elite as well. And me joining them. That's the squad for the elite women. The elite men. We've got Jason Brannock, Morgan Maxwell, Daniel Titcombe, Russell Walsh, and Dassel Scanella.
Another just a strong team again, isn't it? And I think now a lot of the Europeans know these people. They know how good they are from when Leon come over. He's probably been telling them all about them. And even with Dassel's little trip over to Abu Dhabi, like, people know these names now. They have people to look out for. They got rivales. I think they say it in Italian. So it's going to be great. It's going to be good to watch them all. And I'm excited. Well, I've said it already. I'm excited to see them all.
Yeah, I think it's what we have in the UK is quite special in terms of the wider, like the size and the scale of the wider competition. Sometimes you see some countries representing at the European Championships and they just have the elite races. They don't have the depth in the age group. And I think it's really impressive what we have, especially over the breadth of the categories. From the youngest racer, I remember at Worlds, it was like 10 to 60, like Harry to Andy. That age range with over 100 people, including all of the categories, especially the adaptive athletes that Jamie, that you've been helping develop. We're there, we're everywhere. GB is everywhere. Yeah, and I think that's really special. And the positivity that brings, the community feel, I think other countries can feel that. And when Leon did come over, he said, he went to the Czech Championships, and there's all this chat and politics and blah blah blah, and people not wanting, people deciding whether they want to be on a mixed team or whatever team. That doesn't really seem to be the case here, or I don't know, maybe people don't tell me. But hopefully everyone's in it together. I think that's really special. So we do have a really big age group squad for the 12K race. We can go through some of the names. We've got Erica Poole, Jason Marlum, Josie Lloyd, Megan Tranter, Emily Bonney, Charlie Jewell, Nicola Gillespie, Sandy Powell, Wendy Brothers, Billy Stubbs, Andrew White, Shyla Duhaney, Cheryl Beach is doing this 12K as well. Louise Furman, Lance Johns, Susan Jarman, Emma McCree, Nkani, Rebecca Cohen, Alexander, Dawn, of course. Who else we got, guys? Callum Shea, Dara Martin, Chris Neal, Ryan Ibbotson, Matt Roberts. We haven't mentioned him yet. James Pickman, Zach Harper, Liam Morrow, Rob Bordeaux, Chris, John Redman, Tim Krangle, Jason Wright is racing this event, Tony Leary, and Andy Durrance. So yeah, huge squad. Anybody you want to kind of shout out to?
I just want to say that the thing with every name that you've just read out is if you go to any sort of training day, any training place, you will see every one of these names putting in the graft. Every single one of these people has been training this year. They've not been taking it for like little fun and games. People have been really putting in the work, and you can see that. You can really, really see that in everyone, and it's something to aspire to. It's something to really be proud of this year. Definitely. I think because we've got that community base going, and like you said earlier, with the way that we all are, and we're real positive about things, it's come through, and it just shows that in the depth of the level of people that we got.
So cool. Yes, it almost doesn't really matter what happens in the end. I mean, it does. We all care for sure. But even the progress that we've made in training and the dedication that people have put in has already, taken everyone further. So yeah, don't worry, guys.
It'll be fine.
Hakuna Matata.
Start the journey.
But as you say, Chris, what a squad! The squad is massive. We've got two fantastic team captains in Becky and Jamie. Shout out to Dawn. Dawn was supposed to be with us, team manager. I know she's been working really hard behind the scenes, and there are so many people that are there to support the whole team. Whether registration or maybe a bit of a panic attack. I know, Becky, there's a mentor system as well, so people can talk to each other and just really get a grip on competition, because there are many of those people that we've just shouted out to. Be their first European competition. It'll be the first time possibly overseas, and not only is it kind of worrying about going to do a competition where you're taking on the rest of Europe, but actually, wow, I've never been to Italy, or oh my god, it's a mountain course, oh my god, I've never seen that sort of elevation before. So it's a massive team support. Not only is it about the athletes that are just going to go out and fun, have a great time, but just the British Obstacle Sports team behind that they're there to support everybody.
Yeah, it's been a huge effort.
It has been a huge effort. One thing I do want to talk about, which we normally talk about on Who's Up, is the weather. Have you guys started looking at the forecast yet?
Wow.
Who knows?
It keeps changing.
It could be nothing. Lightning. storm,
Yeah,
sun.
as of recording right now, it's looking anywhere between 13 and 17 degrees. So that's already a massive range, but it does seem to have a bit of sun. So I think it's going to be a good old British summer over there. So that'll be good for us.
It is a mountain area, and like anyone who's been over to like the Dolomites or the Alps or anything, even in the height of summer, the weather report always says thunders, because it could change in a blink of an eye. I mean, you don't want to be standing out there with a kite with a key attached to it, that's for sure.
I don't know if anyone remembers, but in 2022 for the Euros in Italy, I remember sleeping the night between two of the races, and I was the most scared of like weather ever. Like the thunder and lightning was so loud, I thought there was an avalanche. I thought that there was like water crashing down the mountain. I thought we were going to get swept away. It was so loud. It was like the scariest thunder I'd ever heard.
That's what my stomach sounds like after I haven't eaten.
But then it was fine. The only thing we don't want to happen is there to be like an actual storm with lightning and stuff, because then the courses probably couldn't happen. And I was also worried about that happening in Hungary as well, actually, because the weather was a bit stormy that weekend too. But yeah, it could be hot, it could be rainy. Please no storms so that the race gets cancelled, because we don't want to be touching those obstacles in the lightning.
No, not unless it gives you superpowers.
We've had the 100-meter race.
Yeah.
We've had the 100-meter race. We've had the 3K and the 12K race. We've finally got the 2 team races. I know what you've got in front of us there. Shall we talk about the team 100-meter relay first, because that's new?
Yeah, the 100-meter relay. So we kind of guessed who was going to be in that earlier. So yeah, it's four people, 2 men, 2 women. That's been selected by the selection committee, which I'm not in, by the way. And that's going to be exciting. So it's 12 obstacles, 3 each, 3 in a row. That's going to be mega exciting. So hopefully we'll be able to watch that around the other team races. Of course, quite a few people will be taking part in those. But that's like the 100-meter course, just broken into 4, and you just have to touch hands.
Wow.
Also didn't mention
that already sounds complicated. I thought, to be fair, I thought it'd be like each person doing the 100 meters each and doing it, therefore, doing 400 meters in total. Wow.
Yeah, they do that in the Southeast Asian Games sometimes, but this is 100 meters broken into quarters. So actually, I think it'll be slower overall than somebody doing it individually. But I think we'll see a lot of changing of positions. But of course, you can only have 2 teams run against each other. So it will be like for time, and then we'll see some progress through the rounds. But I reckon GB head-to-head with Poland. That's the final.
Yeah.
Come on.
That'd be interesting. I don't know. I haven't seen the rules yet as to whether people where they can switch over. So I was thinking, if you were going over a wall, for example, and you hit hands on the way down the wall versus
touch the floor.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, that's a good question. I don't know if they thought about that in that much detail yet, Jamie, but maybe we'll keep that for the UK. Keep that on the inside.
Tactics.
Yeah.
And we have the team race as well. Have you guys as in British Obstacle Sports Selection Committee already selected, or you kind of have maybe a shortlist that you think that you're going to go with, and then see how it goes at the weekend? The team race, by the way, is probably my favorite. It's all about teamwork, isn't it? It's absolutely fantastic. And as a
teamwork makes the dream work.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, I think it's about 7 or 8K. So there are obstacles which you do individually, but you have to follow each other through the lane, as well as the team-based obstacles, which is like the team wall, the transport log, which is like you hang like a sloth, one of you, the sled pull, where one person has to sit on the sled and you have to pull them across the road. Then, of course, the floor is lava, which we've seen before as well in both Italy and in Belgium, as well as the tire carry. So very similar, actually, to this race 2 years ago. But yeah, the squad was selected from people who were keen to do it to represent the national team. There was a squad selected which included enough people to cover the men's, women's, mixed and para team, as well as some reserves. So then the selection committee communicated, who was making up which team, so they could try and practice some things together. So those people know which ones they're in and they've been registered. There were some injuries, so there's been some switching around, and we've got, of course, some backup within that squad. So those people aren't on other teams, other competitive teams. They're only on potential to be on the national team, or the kind of the combination of those people. They're pretty much set. I guess we can tell people, but it's not really announced.
Go on, tell people, Becky. We're all dying to know.
You know.
Well, no, I know.
I don't know if
I'm,
I'm
I'm pretending I don't know.
Well, maybe we
Got a
want
little bit
more
of-
hype. Maybe we should wait for it to be announced. Anyway, these things sometimes change, and there still is that wiggle room. If there's any injuries or particular obstacles that are catching people out, or people change their mind about it. But hopefully, I think we're the approach, the kind of general direction this year was that we're trying to establish things earlier. We're testing out so that we could train together and stuff. Although we probably want to develop that even more in the future. But having a pretty stable team so that we can work together. We'll wait for it to be announced. But I think it's great work on the.
The podcast will be out on Monday. Surely it'll be announced by Monday.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, well let's prepare it now then. So check. I have to check.
Roll.
Do you want to announce some of the teams, Chris or Jamie?
Should we-
Announce
Ja-
our
Jamie-
national team.
Yeah, should we announce the best team?
Yeah, obviously, it's got two great people in it. Plus another third great person. Obviously.
Yeah, well, no, it's only got two great people, me and you, Jamie.
Well, 2 3/4 people.
Yeah, that's
technically.
it. Well,
Go on,
Yeah,
Chris,
'cause-
be the honest.
Darren's only half a man, isn't he? In stature, not in anything else. So it's you, Jamie, myself, and Darren Martin.
Hey.
Whee!
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well done.
Really, really looking forward to this one. Actually, it's going to be a different kind of race. That obviously, I've never experienced that kind of race as well. So it's going to be really cool trying to see how well we can do. And I think we've got a goal to beat the three-fingered man, haven't we?
We have. Yes. Yeah, we have. Although technically he's not in the same category as us.
Yeah, but it doesn't
So-
matter. We
but-
want to beat the
But
three-fingered
we
man.
want to. We want to. Yeah. It's been a bit of a contention over the year to eligibility, because you have to meet minimum disability classification, and previously people who haven't met that classification have still been allowed to compete. So it's good. It's good fun. But we've got two teams at the moment. We're waiting to see if we can submit a third team. And yeah, we're waiting to see if we've got a third team. Waiting to hear back from the Euro team. So we might have 3 British teams and 1 French. Sorry, 2 British teams and 1 French team. We're definitely not allowed a full British podium. That's a shame, unfortunately.
Mm.
So the national
Oh.
para team is Jamie, Chris, and Darren. Excellent work.
Brilliant
Cool.
work. Is there any adaptations to the race for the para race, Jamie?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. The same obstacle changes as the standard, the short and the standard course. But other than that, nope, nothing at all.
Oh, I'm on podium. Okay, want the win? Going for the win, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have you decided who's going to be transport log yet?
Well, I'm hoping I'm going to get carried again. I'm definitely the lightest out of all of us.
Do you think Darren's the same height as me? I don't know how tall he actually is.
He's a little bit shorter than me, so he's like 5'8",
Yeah, that's probably
5'7".
similar.
Okay, because it would depend on heights, right?
Yeah.
Right.
How tall are
And
you?
it would depend
Jamie?
on the terrain. I'm 5'6.5". That's really important.
Yeah, you are about the same height actually.
That might make sense, but this is the thing. It's with para athletes and with all athletes. It really depends on the terrain, because if we
Mm.
get there and the log carry is on nice flat tarmac, I appreciate that's not going to happen. But if it was, I'd be absolutely no problem having a carry. However, if it's on undulating, really rocky terrain, then it completely changes the ball game. So I'm bringing 3 different legs with me, and I'll just have to go out on the course and use the course walk as a bit of a guide, and use the 3K and see what we fancy for the team. So it'll be a tactics on the day discussion, really.
Yeah. Sounds like you got a better leg than me, to be honest, at the moment.
Got a couple of spares if you want.
I might have to, yeah.
Awesome. So the men's national team then is made up of Daniel Titcombe, Morgan Maxwell, and Russell Walsh.
Yeah, really good team that. Yeah,
It's
fast
fast.
team.
That's
Good.
what you want, because you've got to run together. So you need your third fastest person to be as close to your first fastest person as possible.
Yeah. No, really excited to see that one. They're all good mates. They're all rivales. How did I say it earlier? Rivales.
Rivales.
Rivales. They're all rivals in at home, but when it comes to it, they're all mates in this course. They're going to just smash it. Really good runners. Everyone, they're all on top running form. Dan's obstacle game's good. Mo's obstacle game's good. Russell's obstacle game's all right with them small arms, but they'll do really, really well.
Awesome. And then, that combination there, that running together bit is probably the toughest call for the mixed team.
Yeah.
So Imi was actually on this because you basically want your fastest woman who won't fail anything on that team. And Imi was on that, but unfortunately she's too injured to go anymore. So Fed is going to be racing with Das and Jason Brannock.
I was wondering who's going to get to replace. That's a real good call, that I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which means that the women's team, which was Karen and Shai, and it was Fede, I'm stepping in to run with Karen and Shai for the women's team.
That'd be a good team as well. Yeah, really strong.
Yeah, it feels like, we run together in races and stuff. We know how each other works. We know each other's pros and cons. Like, I feel like we're already kind of a team, even though we are rivals as well.
Rivales.
I think we'll come together nicely. Can communicate well, know how each other's brains work a little bit by this point. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I love the team race.
Yeah, it's the best. It is a really good end to the weekend. You all have to you kind of put everyone together and do a real good sort of team bonding event thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, messing up with words here, but it is good fun.
Yeah, and we're confident as well because we've got some strong people making up the rest of the squad. So if anything needs to change, we've got Lou, Jason Marlon, Johnny, and Chris Harris, who are going to be ready to step in as well.
Perfect.
Ready and waiting.
Yeah, on the wings, raring to go.
And then we just need your social. So what's that going to be about then?
The socials.
Phone party.
Phone party. Toga party.
Yeah.
Toga.
Phone.
Now, what's Italian? What can we do with Italian theme? No, actually, because we're in Italy, they'll probably butcher us, won't we? We
just do something that everyone can go to.
I'll leave that to Darren Martin. He is the party king.
We can discuss it on the team race, the three of us.
Yeah, that's it.
No, you should be able to breathe. You should be running that hard.
Well, I've got a chest infection, so that's not difficult at the moment. Struggling to breathe anyway.
That better go by the time in 2 weeks' time, Jamie.
That's how I sound whenever I run.
1 week. 1 week.
1 week. 1 week. When did that happen?
Right, it's 1 week. Is it not
Oh,
next?
of course. Yeah. No. Sorry, we're in the
Tuesday.
No, we're in the future as well, aren't we? I forget about that sometimes.
Yeah, tomorrow.
It'll only be a few days when this comes out, Jamie.
Yeah. Hopefully it'd be gone by then.
Yeah, hopefully. You could tell future self now. No, you could tell past you in the future. No, you could tell your future you now to be better. Is that right?
I can hear those cogs just turning, Chris.
It's difficult. Time travel is a difficult thing, Will. We all know this. It takes lots of planning. You can't. I haven't got the hang of it. No, it takes a lot of planning. I need a Doc Brown in my corner.
All right.
Well done for getting better.
A couple of other things just before you're going on about nonsense. The kids race. That was quite a late addition to this thing, and we do have more limited age groups for Euros than we do for Worlds. So, for example, some people going to Worlds can't actually race at Euros, which is unfortunate. And in Italy, they don't necessarily have so many competitive kids races. But I'm really excited for some of our athletes to really show what they can do and surprise people. There's even things like a creche, I think, that's going to be put on to help support some of the families race to the different events, which is really cool.
Yeah.
People might be interested to know about waves, the number of people that you're running with. Of course, the selection committee have helped with some of the rankings to recommend to Euros about who gets to go earlier in the waves, but there's a limitation to that. It's only a couple of people. But there's 8 people per wave in the 3K and 10 people per wave in the 15K.
It'd be a good number to watch.
Yeah. And we haven't got the wave start times yet, but we might do by the time you're listening to this. I'm guessing they'll be on the link, the step-by-step guide page of the Euros website down at the bottom where it says where they'll be. There's just not currently a link. So try clicking on that and tell me when it works.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be up there. I must admit, this year, the information that we've received from the Euros is being really, really good. I've never known a Euros like it. Yeah, it's been phenomenal. Been really good.
Awesome. Guys, Thank you very, very much for that rundown. Thank you very much to Chris Shipley, our elite OCR racer. Good luck, Chris. Thank you to Becky and Jamie, who are our team captain and vice captain of British Obstacle Sports. You can follow all the action, I'm sure, via Instagram and via all the socials, either by following British Obstacle Sports, that's at British Obstacle Sports, or on all the channels via UKOCR. That's it from us. This has been the Euro Championships preview event, and it's just a final word from me, just to say, British team, good luck. But I will leave the very final words from our team captain, Becky Neal.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so proud of everybody. Please do say hello to me and tell me about your race. I want to hear all about it. I want to be proud of you, with you. Good luck, everybody, from us and the rest of the team at British Obstacle Sports, working hard behind the scenes. Good luck.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is our time. You already know. I ain't gotta tell them why. Get your hands to the sky. Get your hands to the sky.
Hello and welcome to the latest.
Hard. And when the going getting tough, I get to going hard. You bring your best and you know I'ma tear them apart.
Please, spreadsheet.
Alan's gonna love this bit.
Yeah. We'll do a little pause and we can get rid of this.
That's like it's all good because it will end up at the end.
This is our time. Hands to the sky. You already know. I ain't gotta tell them why. Hands to the sky. This is our time. You already know. I ain't gotta tell them why. This is our house. Yeah, and we can't put it down. This is our house. We go around, come around. This is our house. Hands to the sky. You already know. I ain't gotta tell them why. This is our house. Yeah, and we can't put it down. This is our house. You could doubt us, that's fine. But know one thing, real legend don't die. You could doubt us, that's fine. But know one thing, real legend don't die. And we ain't gonna leave till we win. It's 10 out of 10. Y'all, they can't believe what they see. And they telling a friend, yo, go pay the rent. This is our house, we beat them all down. Energized by the crowd, they saying it now. This is our time. Hands to the sky. You already know, I ain't gotta tell them why. Hands to the sky. This is our time. You already know, I ain't gotta tell them why. This is our house.